Hi, I'm James Ratcliffe from Ratcliffe IT, and it's another day and it's another insurance form to fill out with the client. This is worth a quick review because it's a really interesting way to see how Hiscox, or a large insurer, how industry is going to assess the risk that you might present when it comes to information security and cyber security. So hopefully you've done some kind of risk assessment before. But there's some illuminating questions here that will show you the way in terms of the bigger picture and how others will look at it. It can give you quite a bit of confidence, say, are you on the right area, on the right track? Is the advice that your IT company, your cybersecurity partner is giving you aligned with the wider world? So just pull out a few fields here that are of interest and slightly illuminating. Do you use a managed services provider, an IT outsourced service and cybersecurity partner like ourselves? By the way, I filled this one in for a client earlier. Have you had any previous incidents, cybercrime, extortion, data loss, privacy breach, malware infection, ransomware, and so on? How many staff do you have internally? It's likely to be none that are dedicated to an IT department or security specific roles. One of the things they want to know when they're assessing a risk is how much have you spent operationally on IT security in the last year, and how much have you spent from CapEx, how much you've made changes in investment to IT security in the last year. And the reason they're asking is it has a direct relation to how much risk you present and what you've done about it. Some of the questions are reasonably straightforward here, and what was interesting is this form has more spaces to enter and more open questions than it used to have in the past. Please describe the type, nature, volume of data. Okay, that's quite straightforward. For most small businesses, you're going to hold business and personal information that's used to deliver the work that you do for your clients. If you're in marketing or a very large company, you may hold thousands upon thousands of records of people you're not doing business with. And that's a big differentiator. It's quite straightforward here. But there are questions where they want to know now your backup policies and data retention policies, obviously an overlap with GDPR. They're asking specific questions around remote desktop and how that's secured, and patching. So some of the less exciting areas around proactive maintenance are of interest to an insurer, as well as the slightly more traditional elements, the measures you might put in place around cybersecurity. Employee awareness training, email filtering, web content filtering, endpoint protection, having an incident response plan, so on and so forth. So if there's any gaps here, they want you to be honest. It's really important that you won't be covered, you won't be insured if you answer these questions inaccurately. But if there are some gaps here, they do relate to the state of your protection for the business, or detection as well. Really important element of that. So if you've got one of these forms and it needs a review, or even if you want to understand a bit more about what these questions are, very often whoever's responsible for them will send them to us to go through. And not only will we help with that, but we'll make sure that you understand the risks and how they're covered. So if you've got one of these forms and would like some help with it and understanding what the terms mean and what they mean to the business, don't hesitate to get in touch.